Hi, my name is Rebecca Lee, and I wrote this book, The Mercury Detoxification Manual with Andy Cutler, PhD. And I did a video recently on how to make liposomal vitamin C, which everybody who's mercury toxic needs a lot of vitamin C, and liposomal vitamin C is a really good form of it. And I'm a big fan of making my own stuff to save money, and also a big fan of finding the easiest way to do things. Sandra Gentry pointed out that you don't even need to pour your vitamin C solution into the ultrasound gadget you use to make the liposomal vitamin C. You can do the whole thing in one fell swoop by mixing up everything in a glass bowl jar and putting the bowl jar itself into the ultrasound gadget. And I demonstrate how to do that here. I want to tell you about an improvement I made in my liposomal vitamin C technique. And thank you, Sandra Gentry, for explaining this to me. But first of all, I put everything straight into that bowl jar with the water. And I instead of using the blender and having two things dirty, I mix it up with this gadget here. And then I fill around the bowl jar with water. And that carries the vibrations into the solution. And then you see I've got this gadget, New Trent ultrasonic cleaner, and it's got 4 settings, and that's the top one. And you have to run that several times, like 5 or 6 times, to get 20 minutes or a half hour in. And I use this wooden spoon to stir it. And when the foam's all gone, it's pretty it's pretty much done. So I'm going to start it, and then afterwards you can't hear me anymore because these vibrations interfere with the sound. Another product that I make myself is SCD, or specific carbohydrate diet yogurt. This is yogurt that is fermented for 48 hours and packs a big punch as far as probiotics. Also, by that time, the bacteria has eaten up the milk sugars, so many people who can't tolerate dairy can tolerate this. Unfortunately, this is not going to be true for those mercury toxic people who are thiol sensitive, and I will try and develop a cultured low-thiol veggie for you guys. So yogurt is pretty easy to make, but there are plenty of people who don't know that. Here's the equipment I use. This is my 2-quart bowl jar. I love these things. You can get them at most hardware stores along with these nifty lids. These particular lids do not leak. I love them too. They say ball, leak proof. A big revelation for me was to find out that you can make yogurt using probiotic capsules. You don't have to buy special yogurt starter. It's much more economical to use these capsules. And keep in mind that the bacteria is replicating when you culture the milk, so you get way more bang for your buck than by just eating the capsules. And I have been using these. Probiotic 10, 25 billion, with 10 probiotic strains by Now, the company called Now Nutritionals, which is a very nice company. And I will demonstrate how to make the yogurt in the following incredibly professional videos. But basically, you scald or bring the milk to a boil, let it cool down until it is about bath water temperature. Pour it into the bowl jar, add 2 of these capsules, stir them up, and put the bowl jar in your oven with the oven light on. You leave it to culture for 48 hours. That's what makes it specifically SCD yogurt. If you have people in your family who are not sick, what a concept, and who like those little yogurt desserts, you can mix up your own with sugar and jam or whatever, and perhaps maple syrup, and save yourself some money. I use these little plastic cups that they sell in my co-op down the street. So I hope you like this video. Please remember that lifetime membership in my online support group is now only $17 a month. So here's one of the steps I use to make yogurt. I use my 2-quart bowl jar I love these ball jars. I fill it up to the top of this. This is how I measure how much water milk I'm going to use. I pour it into the ball jar first. Then I take my pot. Some of you may recognize that this is a pot from India. I brought it back with me. I pour the milk into the pot. That's how I know I got the right amount. Then I have to bring this milk to a boil. That's scalding it. You bring it to a boil and you turn it off before you make a mess. And then I will proceed with the next step afterwards. Okay, here I've got to the point where my milk, which I've scalded, has cooled down, and you don't have to take the temperature of it or anything like that. It just has to be not so hot that it's going to kill things, and warm enough so that they'll feel cozy and multiply. So you can figure out what that is. And I pour it into this bowl jar. And I use 2 of these. This is the probiotics. Now probiotics 10 to 25 billion. Probiotic 10, 25 billion. And that's just wonderful because you don't have to buy anything special. You just empty these probiotic tablets right in there. And you mix it up with your spoon. And you find a bowl jar lid. And this is my secret. This is my secret method. You turn on the light on your stove, the oven light on your stove, and stick that thing in there. And you leave it for 2 days, 48 hours. Okay, here's my final step. This yogurt's only been in its incubator in my oven for 24 hours, but I'm going to show you how it's set. And I'm going to put that back into the oven and give it another overnight, because that way it'll be really powerful and full of probiotics.